Ladies and gentlemen, this is a YouTube channel vlog show in which Flash Game Show gameplays, wrestling and sports talk, and video game gameplays are always on the regular. This is the YouTube channel vlog show of good times, positivity, and fun. This is Eric Lima's Shenanigans of 1977. And now, here is your host of the show, the perpetrator of these shenanigans, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer. Well, hello there. Whoopsie daisy. Well, hello there, and welcome to the third episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. I am your host, Mr. Big Beefy E himself, and the perpetrator of these shenanigans, Mr. Eric M. Lima. That's me. What's going on, everybody? I know I talked a little bit briefly about this in the last episode of the show. Let's talk about what happened last night on Raw. Braun Strowman. I'm going to talk about a lot about Braun Strowman. This man, I'll tell you what, when they released him, I think last year, during the wee hour, during the the remaining hours of the pandemic, so to speak, when the pandemic's kind of like winding down, the restrictions are getting lifted up, they released him. But then they brought him back this year. I mean, there were rumors and reports going around that he was going to come back, and they decided to have him back, and oh boy, because a little bit of a clue about when, there were rumors going around, the reports that Strowman was going to come back to, last night on Raw, Monday night on Raw. So, and it was like, back then it was like, okay, I'm going to take it with a grain of salt, all right? But then when Miz and Ciampa were getting interviewed by Sarah Schreiber while they're going into the arena, you see a car getting flipped over. And I'm going, there's only one person I know that can flip a car over. And that'll be none other than Braun Strowman. As you know, Braun Strowman's been known to flip ambulances over, semi-trucks over, a semi-truck, a semi-big rig over. I mean, Braun Strowman's done that, and then they had a fatal four-way tag team matchup, deciding number one contenders who would challenge the Usos. Would be the New Day. You got New Day, Los Lotharios, Street Profits, and Alpha Academy. And they all went at it. And then while Chad Gable was getting Montez Ford in that ankle lock, here comes Braun Strowman. 6'8", 300 pounds. Dude comes in looking jacked and ripped and lean. I'm like, trapezius muscle. He's like the next Goldberg, for God's sakes. But this guy was like jacked up, and he trimmed his beard, but he got the look of intensity in his eyes, and you're like, wow. And it's crazy. And just, it is just super amazing that he's back. And, I'm talking about when the WWE's bringing back a lot of superstars. They brought, a lot of wrestlers. The first person they brought back since Vince McMahon decided to step down, Triple H took over and Stephanie, Dakota Kai, who joined Io Shirai, who is now known as Io Sky, and Bayley. Bayley made her return at SummerSlam. Io Sky made her debut at SummerSlam, as well as Dakota Kai, and they're both great NXT standouts, and they call themselves Damage Control. And then you got Karrion Kross and Scarlett were the next ones to arrive. The Friday night after the SmackDown after SummerSlam, which was even huge. And then you got Hit Row was next to return, and then Dexter Lumis also made his return. Then Johnny Gargano made his return, and recently, as of last night, Braun Strowman. This is going to get crazy. The WWE is really going to... A lot of these are going to be picked up. There's going to be lots of some superstars left in the shuffle, like Lacey Evans. We have not heard from her since her return. Ezekiel, we have not heard a lot from since everybody was returning. R-Truth, the 24/7 title. It's totally insane at this point. So it is a matter of what happens is Malachi Black, um, not happy where he's at. You know, there's a lot of turmoil backstage turmoil, like I said, going on in AEW right now. Since CM Punk, in that press junket that he did, and really, it's insane. Let me tell you. So we don't know what's going to happen. You know, in the meantime, between time, basically. You know, as you know, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are the first ever inaugural trios champions, and so it's I gotta tell you, it's something that we you know, not, and Toni Storm's the new interim women's champion of AEW, her first title in 3 years. Since she held the NXT UK Championship. We see Dominic Mysterio turning his Edge and his father Ray to join up with the Judgment Day. So that whole situation going down. So a lot. There's a lot to digest here in the wrestling world. That's what AEW and WWE, of course. You know, a lot and there are a lot of people. There's some people that are now shifting towards the WWE more because of the returns of these superstars, returns of these wrestlers, and then AEW's in total turmoil. And a lot of people were saying that Cody Rhodes left AEW at the right time. So, anyways, a lot of people are saying the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega running things is like when the Clique was running things. In both WWE and WCW, you had Shawn Michaels and Triple H doing a lot of politicking in the WWE, but now they're matured and taking over for NXT and WWE in general. You know, Hall and Nash and Hogan and everybody else was running things in WCW, and then when you had Hogan and Bischoff in Impact Wrestling as well, so that's a lot of things have been happening, but. Well, like I said, Shawn Michaels and Triple H matured. They grown up. They always believe in their wrestlers. They always they always believe in wrestling and believe in talent, that the young talent that they have. Shawn Michaels has been doing a lot of great work on NXT, helping that. And then Triple H is now really kicking things up and bringing some of these stars back, some of these wrestlers back to the WWE. It's going to be very interesting to see how this develops. As we'll go to Survivor Series. So Survivor Series is going to get interesting, to say the least. Could be, will NXT jump back in to the fray as they did in 2019? There has been a lot. There has been a lot of craziness going on. Let me tell you, it's something that it's, I'll tell you what, like I said, 2022 has been an interesting year for wrestling. I think it's the year started off with AEW being dominant until that big announcement by Vince McMahon that he's retiring and stepping down as chairman of WWE, with all the allegations against him going on. You see Triple H take over, creative, and Stephanie take over. It seems like a lot of things have been picking up, and it seems like the balance of shift of power, so to speak, went from AEW to WWE. I think it started when Cody Rhodes came back to the WWE at WrestleMania. I think that kind of got the ball rolling. But then when the allegations against Vince McMahon kind of piled up, Vince probably thought better of things, said stepping down, and allowed, Stephanie came back because she left for a while. Maybe she came back as chairwoman of the company. Her and Nick Khan took over, and then you had, Triple H, John Laurinaitis, and Bruce Pritchard are out the door already. Kevin Dunn is the only one left, and I'm sure he'll go. He'll start to go pretty soon. So, like I said, a lot of changes are happening in wrestling. Of course, WWE, AEW, the top two. They're, it's like AEW at first was dominant, and then it started, they started going down a little bit, while the WWE starting to rise up. So it's sort of like, it's a scale. You got AEW going down and WWE going up. So it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be very interesting. And Braun Strowman coming back, that means everybody getting in their hands, getting rolling over the train tracks. So it'll be, like I said, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. So I'm kind of looking forward to what's going to go on in the WWE now. I know NXT 2.0 is tonight. Fall Out from Worlds Collide. I'm going to watch that and see what develops, and hopefully I will give you some news on that when I can. I'm not going to do any live stream reactions or something like that. I'm just going to do what I'm doing, all right? So that's all the time we have on this show, once again. So on this episode number 3 of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. And be blessed. Have a great day. Have a great day. This concludes another episode for today. Join me on another episode of the show. This is Mr. Lima speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, do it for Bob Saget production. In association with A Sweet Bumbling Bofa Raver Telepictures and Distribution. Goodbye for now. See you on the next episode.